third overall pick, and Jamar Chase and Bijan Robinson are off the board. This is the video for you. Today, we already mock draft pick number 1. Check it out after you watch this video. We've already mock draft pick number 2. Check it out after you watch this video. And today, we're mocking for pick number 3. If you don't know me, my name's Cam from All Talk Sports. Super friendly, love making content, and I love fantasy football, love the NBA as well. So, if you like fantasy football and you like winning your leagues, watch this video. With the third overall pick, we're going to build our team around not Justin Jefferson. Hamstring tweak. I wasn't gonna take him even before the hamstring tweak. It's gonna be CeeDee Lamb. I genuinely think that CeeDee Lamb has the opportunity to be the wide receiver 1 in all of fantasy, the most valuable fantasy player with a healthy Dak Prescott. He's going to be completely healthy this season. And last season, he was the wide receiver 9, and he didn't play with Dak for a majority of the game. So let's go with CeeDee Lamb. Number 3 overall pick. We're going to build our team around CeeDee Lamb. Let me know down below what pick you have and who you would take at number 3. I see some Saquon Barkley, some Justin Jeffersons, even some Jahmyr Gibbs pop up there. But overall, like if I had to rank them, it'd be CeeDee Lamb, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley, Justin Jefferson. Now, if my guy is going to fall to us, he doesn't. Josh Jacobs got picked with 2. I love Josh Jacobs. I think kind of having that hero RB would help this season, especially if you build around CeeDee Lamb. But this is a half PPR formatted league. I love Chase Brown. I've been drafting Chase Brown probably as my most drafted player. But we're not going to take Chase Brown today. We're going to go with the chalk pick here. I hate, picking the top guy available, but McConkey. He led the Chargers last season. He led a lot of the NFL last season. Wide receiver 11 last season. Let's just go to his 2024 stats. He was a stud. He was an absolute beast. I kind of picked it up later in the year. But another year under his belt, him not being a rookie, already has a connection with Justin Herbert. And they didn't bring anybody that's going to take the targets away from McConkey. You may think, but defenses will figure it out. They might figure out the scheme, but not to the full effect where they completely take McConkey out of the game. He's the wide receiver 1. And John Harbaugh is just all over McConkey. He loves him. I'm hoping Chase Brown falls to me here. He does. So Jonathan Taylor, Tyreek Hill. Also 2 guys I was thinking about taking instead of McConkey. I know maybe for you guys, 2 receivers kind of scares you. Kind of scares me too, especially since I love drafting running backs and drafting running backs early. But when I know I can get my RB1 on the board in the 3rd round with either Breece Hall, Chase Brown, and Kyren Williams I'm staying away from. You never know what Sean McVay is going to do with the RB situation, and their low-key is a little bit of, I don't know if you can see, on my phone, on Sleeper at least, I can see the depth chart, and I can't pop it up right now, so I'm not going to. But I know there's some competition. Obviously, drafted Blake Corum last season, so we're going to take Chase Brown as our RB1. Now, I was leaning also almost taking T. Higgins as well. If you can get a piece of that Cincinnati Bengals offense, please do. A lot of leagues I'm stacking Chase Brown and Joe Burrow. I'm stacking T. Higgins and Joe Burrow. I think it's what you need to do. So far, I think we've built a pretty sound team around CeeDee Lamb. We have McConkey. We have Chase Brown. And with our 4th overall selection here, I love Ken Walker. Some guys, I would draft Ken Walker over every running back selected so far. Chuba Hubbard, Amari Hampton. Joe Mixon's not going to be drafted this high because of the foot injury now. And Alvin Kamara, if you're in a full PPR league, I would definitely consider it. But Ken Walker in a contract season, if he stays healthy, he's an absolute beast. We've seen him, just absolutely crush in fantasy years. But last season, very underwhelming just because of the injury aspect. And I think that the Seahawks will really lean on Ken Walker, especially them, kind of being question mark offense. They're bringing Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf leaves, who just got drafted. And them bringing in Sam Darnold, I think Ken Walker could be Sam Darnold could very lean on Ken Walker, especially in the pass game as well. I know they have Zach Charbonnet, but all right, we have our 2 receivers, we have 2 running backs. Now is where we, really make the gold pick. Now, come the 5th, 6th, 7th, really the 8th round, ADP is kind of out of the window. You kind of take the guys that, all offseason, all like now, you guys really want. Some guys I'm staying away from, definitely staying away from Zay Flowers. I don't know if I love the 5th round price tag on Sam Laporta. I feel like I can get similar tight end production down the line, so I'm going to stay away from him. I don't hate Jamison Williams. I really like these guys right here in the Ted McMillan, George Pickens, Isaiah Pacheco, Travion Henderson. I'm kind of between these guys. I think I'm going to go the stack, and maybe we even go crazy stack with Dallas. Getting Dak later on. I don't know. Maybe because I have CeeDee Lamb, I'm not going to take George Pickens. So let's take the running back from the New England Patriots, Travion Henderson. I think he'd be an absolute wild or 8-ball this year in fantasy football. I think he could be Jahmyr Gibbs for the Patriots. Now, is that offense great? Not as good as the Lions, but it's got a chance. I don't know. I am a firm believer in this Patriots offense. I think with Mike Vrabel, I think a second year from Drake May, adding the additions of Stephon Diggs, the additions of Travion Henderson, who I think is going to be the workhorse. Sorry, Ramondre Stevenson, you're just not that good anymore. And you never really were insanely good. Now, in the 6th round, I've been between these two players pretty much for every single draft. 3 players. Travis Hunter, who already got selected. Calvin Ridley, who I think could be a 1,000-yard receiver again this season. And Mr. Caleb Johnson. Now, do I want to take 2 rookie running backs back-to-back who don't have a clear path to be a running back 1? No. That's why I'm going to take Calvin Ridley, but if Caleb Johnson falls to me in the 7th round, I'll be all over Caleb Johnson. Please, one more pick. Bang! Caleb Johnson is mine. We end up getting both. When I say clear path, that's because they have another running back in front of them. It's been a veteran, been a part of that team for a while now. So let's recap our picks so far. We have CeeDee Lamb, Lad McConkey, Chase Brown, Ken Walker, Travion Henderson, Calvin Ridley, Caleb Johnson. So we're going to probably soon look at the quarterback tight end situation here, but I'm not going to force anything. And I think that's what you guys should do in your fantasy drafts. Don't force your picks just because you have those roster spots available. Like, maybe some guys are going to be on my bench before I fill out my whole roster, and that's completely fine. That's completely fine if you do it as well. Stay away from Evan Ingram. I think, if he gets the production that he once did in Jacksonville, it will be for like 3 or 4 yard passes and in half PPR that really doesn't help you. Stephon Diggs is a cool question mark, especially being the wide receiver 1. You can't get a lot of wide receiver 1 talent in the 8th round, but what are you going to get out of Stephon Diggs this season coming off that ACL tear? I think my guy is Josh Downs here. I think Josh Downs could be an absolute wild card this year in fantasy football. When he played last season, he's pretty cool. He's pretty good, especially having Anthony Richardson under center. I think Anthony Richardson, he can't be any worse than he was last season. So let's go with Josh Downs. I think he is another one of my highly drafted players. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the stack, and I'm going to get Dak Prescott. I think the Dak CeeDee stack could be absolutely insane. Do I take David Njoku here? He's one of my highly drafted players. I think he's just the go-to tight end if you wait till the very end of the drafts. I mean, I like Jake Ferguson as well, but how much Dallas can I get? And I'm not drafting Kyle Pitts. So, I mean, let me know what you guys would go here. Some guys definitely available: Michael Pittman, Tajay Spears, Jordan Mason, Jaden Reed as well. He's a question mark. Juwan Jennings, if he gets a contract, he could be a great piece of any fantasy team. Matthew Golden could be the wide receiver 1 for the Green Bay Packers this season. I mean, do you really want a piece of that puzzle with the Packers receivers? You want a piece of the offense, but you want a good piece. I don't know if Matthew Golden is the answer there, but he might be my pick here. I know I just said I don't want to force anything, but it's either David Njoku or Matthew Golden. I think one obviously has the higher floor, one obviously has the higher upside. We're going to stick and pick David Njoku. Tight ends off the board. Matthew Golden was 2 picks after him, along with 2 other tight ends. So, obviously, none of them are going to fall. I got to stick and pick with my guy, and my guy is David Njoku. Now, talk about my guys, my buddies at Dabble Fantasy. You guys go check out Dabble Fantasy. If you guys love picking more or less on your favorite players, whether it be NFL, NBA, NHL, NCAA, really any single sport, check out Dabble Fantasy. And they have season-long NFL futures right now on the app. And if you guys want free $10, literally you don't have to put in a single dollar. You get $10 for free. We use my code AllTalkSports. It's link in the description. Literally says free $10. Get it right there. So shout out Dabble Fantasy for sponsoring this podcast and the NBA podcast. And there goes Dak Prescott. So we can't get the stack of Dak and CeeDee Lamb. That kind of hurts. Can I make it? Yeah. Wow. So that round alone, Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy, Caleb Williams, and this CPU second quarterback, that will never happen in a real draft. So I guess we're going to move on and just select best player available. Now, there's some still good quarterback options. Jordan Love, Justin Fields, Drake May, I think I could pick in the next round. So we're going to go with high upside here. I feel like we don't really have a lot of high upside on this team. Now, we do have a couple of rookies, a couple of guys in new situations like Calvin Ridley and Chase Brown, who are going to be absolute starters. I mean, they were starters last season, but Chase Brown now doesn't have Zach Moss. Calvin Ridley now has Cam Ward. So we're going to go here, and we're going to go Jaden Higgins. I think he has a clear path to be the wide receiver 2 in Houston. Two running backs, 2 tight ends go off the board. I mean, Rashad White being drafted is just comical. Yeah, I do think Jaden Higgins could be a cool piece. If you make the playoffs, he could be the higher upside flex play. And with our next pick, I think we're going to go Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields or Drake May. No, I got to go Drake May. He's better offense. He's a better passer. Pretty much the same scrambler. Drake May surprised a lot of people last season. I think he could be an easily top 10 quarterback in fantasy football this season. So that's the 11th round, and I think we're going to stick and pick the last couple of picks, and then I'll catch up to you when we do that. All right, fellas, here is the whole team. CeeDee Lamb, McConkey, Chase Brown, Ken Walker, Trayvon Henderson, Calvin Ridley, Caleb Johnson, Josh Downs, David Njoku, Jaden Higgins, Drake May, Jack Beck, Dylan Sampson, Kate Otten, and Mr. Jalen Noel. Okay, so here's our team. Can I make it bigger? No, I can't. Okay, so you will see my face somewhere off to the side. It's Drake May at the starting quarterback with the 11th overall pick. I think he has a lot of high upside, and if we want to play the quarterback off the waiver wire game, we can do that as well. Chase Brown and Ken Walker are our 2 starting running backs, along with CeeDee Lamb and McConkey as our 2 starting receivers. Love this. I love this core of these 4 players. I think this is easily one of the best drafts I've ever had at the 3 spot. David Njoku, safe floor tight end, with Trayvon Henderson and Calvin Ridley as my 2 flex plays, along with Caleb Johnson, Josh Downs, Jaden Higgins, Jack Beck, Dylan Sampson, Kate Otten, Jalen Noel. What do you see on my bench? A lot of upside. Now, say 2 out of these 4, 5 rookies, 6 rookies I have, or however many rookies I have, which Caleb Johnson, Jaden Higgins, Jack Beck, Dylan Sampson, and Jalen Noel are, say 2 of them never see the field. I can drop those players for safer floor guys who are going to be on the waiver wire. That's the beauty of fantasy football. You can always adapt, always adjust. So if you guys like this draft, and if you guys agree or disagree down below, let me know down below. I will be checking every single comment. Subscribe if you're new, and peace.